Yo, Counter Attack Podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Listen, Arsenal, man. What a statement. What a statement. Do you know, Bayern Munich coming to Arsenal today, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be a tough game. You know, the two unbeaten teams in the Champions League, flying high right now. I was like, do you know what? Bayern Munich are gonna come and give us some problems. And do you know what? If I talk about the first half in that game, it was a game where you could see that once Bayern got the ball, Arsenal kind of struggled to like deal with the rotations and everything that Bayern were doing. And, you know, they were keeping the ball really, really well. They weren't really threatening too much, but they were just keeping the ball really, really well and just moving Arsenal around. And they moved Arsenal about today. I think probably the most I've seen any team do that this season. Just got really intelligent players, do you get what I'm saying, who, when they get the ball, they know how to really, you know, make the most of like the space. You've got Harry Kane dropping deep, and then, you know, you got Elise and Gnabry running in behind. They did well. Do you know what I'm saying? And Arsenal, I wouldn't say we struggled, but yeah, that level of control that Arsenal normally have in and out of possession, we just didn't have that today in the first half. And, you know, obviously we got the set piece goal past the timber, got the goal, and I was like, okay, here we go. But to be fair, their goal was a good goal. I felt like Skelly was sleeping, and Skelly had a tough game today. And this ain't me even trying to single him out to say he did badly, because when you come up against wingers like Elise, they can give most fullbacks a bad day, let alone a fullback that's in and out of the team, you know, hasn't really been playing as often. You know, Elise gave him, you know, a tough time today. But, you know, second half came in, and I don't know what Arteta said to the boys, but listen, you see that second half display from Arsenal against Bayern Munich today. It was a display of pure dominance. I can't remember seeing anyone do that to Bayern Munich of recent times. Do you get what I'm saying? Not to say that Bayern Munich have been unbeatable, but in terms of the way that Arsenal literally dominated them in that second half, I haven't seen that in God knows how long. Every set piece was causing them issues. You know, every attack looked like there could be something to come from it. And in the second half, Bayern Munich just could not handle Arsenal at all. You know, Declan Rice. So this is my argument when people tell me Declan Rice ain't a good player. I think people confuse his ability to the impact he actually has on a pitch. Because if we're talking ability, yes, Zubimendi is 5 times the player Declan Rice is, if we're talking pure ability. Do you get what I'm saying? But in terms of the intangible, the things you don't see, the off the ball stuff, the setting the tempo, the always playing with an intensity that just lifts the team, and just running people down, intercepting passes, driving the team forward. You can't buy that. You can't buy that. And Declan Rice has that in abundance. So yes, you know, someone like me who actually likes ball, you know, the ball playing midfielders, I know Declan Rice is not better than them. But in terms of impact and effectiveness, you'll struggle to find more effective players than Declan Rice. And even before they gave him the man of the match, I tweeted Declan Rice man of the match, because he's just everywhere on the pitch. And then I called my boy after, because we go back and forth about this whole Declan Rice thing, and he doesn't like how people, you know, big him up and everything. And my thing is that, and he actually likes Declan Rice, but my thing is that I understand, but when you watch Arsenal play, Declan Rice is a massive part of games when we win. Do you get what I'm saying? And I called him today after the game, and I said to him, I was like, can you see when people talk about Declan Rice? And I'm like, no, he's a sick player. Can you see what I'm talking about? And he actually read off Declan Rice's stats today. And Declan Rice's stats were like, every second pass was a misplaced pass where he lost possession. He didn't really win that many duels. and stuff like that. But the stats, when he read them back to me, like Declan Rice's game, it just makes you, I was just like, oh, did he have a bad game? But it's the things that you just can't measure. And I can't even put it into words. Do you get what I'm saying? In terms of what Declan Rice brings. But he's just ridiculously effective and impactful on the pitch. And I think one thing that was really, you know, we talk a lot about depth when it comes to Arsenal this year. Every week, depth. You know, and we've had to because of the injuries that we've had. But when I saw that they're taking Saka off with like maybe 20 minutes left, and Saka had a good game, I was like, oh, what's going on here? But to be able to bring Saka off and then end of the game, last 20, Madueke came on earlier on, but Martinelli, I was just like, okay, we brought Eze off towards the back end of the game, and Odegaard's coming back from injury now. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, yes, we got injuries, but injuries are coming back, and you know, our squad is actually really, really stacked. Lewis Skelly, as I said earlier on, Skelly, he struggled today. Elise had him on strings, and Skelly struggled today, and it was a tough watch at times because Elise really like gave him the little shimmies a couple times, and he got beaten a bit too easily. And then Carl, there was one when Carl just ghosted past him and had a shot on goal. And this ain't even me even criticising him. I just think that when you come up against wingers like Elise and Carl, the ones who on their day can be really lively, they can give most fullbacks trouble. But I just felt like being able to take him off and bring on Calafiori when it's like night and day right now, you can see why currently Calafiori is the number one left back at the club, because he just gives you that surety even in defence. It's like you've got a grown up in defence. Do you get what I'm saying? Skelly, he's only 19 years old. He will improve on that side of things. And like I said, he's been in and out of the team. But when Calafiori came on, none of that, Elise, all that stuff, it stopped instantly. And on top of that, he went up, whipped in the ball for Madueke to score. So the strength in depth is there right now for Arsenal, and it's just such a good thing to see. Like, I remember days where we were playing with Socrates, Mustafi, who else? I don't want to say Mertesacker because I liked Mertesacker, Skilacci, and then people. And now we've got, you know, Gabriel's injured and we've got Mosquera. Hincapié played the other day. We've got Saliba. We've got Timber, who is the best right back in the league. In the world, the only one talking to him right now, I think, would be Hakimi. So, but for me, best right back in the league, definitely. We got Saka. We got Marino doing the job. Like, we just got such a stacked team right now, and it's just so good to see, you know, considering where we come from. And right now, I would say, and I'm not, you know, let me know if I'm doing too much, because obviously I support Arsenal, but right now, in terms of Europe, Arsenal are looking like the team to beat. And I don't even want it to be that way, because for me, that's too much pressure. And the moment it goes wrong, Arsenal, you bottled it again, whatever. But for me right now, Arsenal look like the team to beat, because Bayern coming to Arsenal today as the team they are, in the form that they're in, and getting swept aside eventually by Arsenal, it's not a small thing. Yesterday I saw Chelsea beat Barcelona, but it was a poor Barcelona team, if we're being honest. And that's not to take anything away from Chelsea, because Chelsea played well. But Barcelona yesterday and Bayern today, because Bayern actually played well as well, but then it got to the point where Arsenal were just a better team and they just couldn't do anything about it. And, you know, you will struggle to, you know, in the Champions League, find a team more dangerous than Arsenal. But I don't get too far ahead of myself, because in the latter stages is where it really matters. And over two legs, anything is possible. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but they're looking real good right now. Liverpool, man. Oh my gosh. So before I started recording this, I looked at Liverpool, and honestly, do you know what? I was one of those, I said it just the other day in the video I put out the other day, that Slot's got credit in the bank, but they continue to ship goals. They shipped 4 at home to PSV today, off the back of Nottingham Forest. Before that, was it Man City? Like 3 goals, 4 goals. what's that? 10 goals in the last 3 games. Like, that is bad. Their players are just not performing. They're not playing. Van Dijk has dropped off a cliff, which I said at the beginning of the season. That was my hot take. My hot take at the beginning of the season, before a ball had even been kicked. Scorcher is my witness. I said Van Dijk is gonna, we're not seeing that level of Van Dijk, but it's cool. He can't do it all by himself. And then Salah is looking. I saw someone tweet today that Slot's got Salah looking like Modine out there, which is hilarious. Do you get what I'm saying? And their signings just ain't doing it. Kirkez isn't doing it. The only one with any sort of credit from me, to be honest, is Szoboszlai. And it was Ekitike, but even Ekitike recently, he's not really looking, and to be fair, from what I've seen of the highlights, he did well yesterday as well, today as well. So, but yeah, Szoboszlai is the only one really coming out with any sort of credit. And I think when you get a bunch of players like you do at Liverpool and you just can't get them to play, and you're losing after game after game after game, it gets to the point where all that credit you talk about Slot having because he won them the league, it gets to the point where it's like, look, how much more of this can we take? Because no matter who they play, they just always seem to just be losing right now. And they just look so easy to play against. Do you get what I'm saying? You score one goal against them, it's like their whole heads drop. And is it a case of the players just, or the manager just losing the dressing room or what? Because I just don't know how Liverpool recover from this. The league is done for them. Done. It's totally done for them. And you can't even say you need better players because they have a good squad. That's the same squad that won the league last year, and you've added. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not even that. So is it just that the manager just can't get the players up for it? Have the players lost faith in the manager? Is it a thing where he just needs, something new? Who knows? But for me, if two more losses, I reckon, and bad ones, and I think Slot might go because they backed him earlier on in the week. I heard that, their faith is still in the manager or whatever. Like, that's not even a thing. But I think there comes a point where you just cannot keep losing. You cannot keep losing and keep backing the manager. Something has to change. So, it's going to be interesting because I think even though they've been losing, I wouldn't feel like Slot has felt like he's under pressure. But I think after today's loss, there's just something about it where it's like, I think he's going to be looking at it thinking, oh, do you know what? I'm on borrowed time. Because, it's bad. It's bad. But credit to PSV as well, man. But Liverpool, I'm telling you, they just look so easy to just play against. Like, I mentioned the other day against Nottingham Forest, they were the better team. But the moment one goal goes in against them, you feel like you can get a second. You feel like you can get a third. On top of that, things just ain't happening for them. Like, the chances that they're getting, they're just not putting them away. I don't know what's wrong with Isak. I don't know what is wrong with Isak at all. It's just, yeah. So, listen, and Tottenham tried. Tottenham really tried today, but they came up against a team that was just too much for them in the end. Do you get what I'm saying? Vitinha, his first 2 goals were just delightful goals. And Tottenham actually, from what I saw, played well today as well. Gave PSG like a lot of problems, but like I said, when you got the quality of Vitinha and then you got players making mistakes like Sarr did for I think it was for the 4th goal, you can't be allowing those things to happen, and because PSG will hurt you. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got, like I said, they've got too much quality, man. But that Vitinha goal, man, that first one, oof, just no touch, just straight come across the body, bang, top bins. Yeah. Vitinha had a game today. He had a game, and Tottenham are banging trouble. And the reason why I say that is because their style just doesn't allow for waves of attack. Do you get what I'm saying? And it doesn't help that on top of that, they're missing creative players, So, haven't seen Jed Spence as well, be tweeting that he's locking up wingers. I haven't seen that in a while, or been putting that up on Instagram and stuff like that about bring your favourite winger. Get me? He was up against Kvaratskhelia today. I didn't see, from what I saw, yeah, Jed. Yeah, back on the training field. But yeah, that's it for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know, fair play, Chelsea won as well against Bayern Munich. I mean, against Barcelona. Very, very poor Barcelona team. Very, very poor, honestly. But Chelsea did well, and obviously this weekend, Arsenal versus Chelsea or Chelsea versus Arsenal. I think it's at Stamford Bridge. So, you know, it should be an interesting game. I'm actually more worried for the Chelsea game than I was for the Bayern Munich game. I think Chelsea's going to be a really, really tough game. Really, really tough game, especially off the back of this this win that they've had. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Is Slot going to get the sack? You know, are Arsenal favourites for the Champions League? I don't even like saying all that stuff. I repeat, as much as people want to say Arsenal are favourites for the Champions League, I don't like all that sort of stuff. I know we're looking the best right now, but with Arsenal, you can't. It's like people say those things just to set us up to fail. Do you get what I'm saying? If we had won the Champions League before and people were saying we're favourites at this stage, I'd be like, yeah, cool, we're favourites. But we've never won it. And I just want to just be like, look, one game at a time. You lot worry about yourselves. We'll worry about ourselves. One game at a time. And it will all work out. So yeah, guys, that's it from me. I'm out.